Hey, what's up, guys? Logue here. So I want to talk about this one mistake that's probably killing your wholesaling business, and you're probably not even aware of it. The number could be right. You could be calling the right person. You could be calling them at the right time. They could be super fucking motivated, but if your call is showing up as spam, they're probably not going to answer, or it could just go directly to voicemail or not even connect. And you could think it's a bad number when you had the right number for the right person at the right time, but your number was showing up as spam. So I'm going to show you how to fix it. Watch this video. So you ever have those days where you're making calls, you're smashing the phones, and nobody seems to want to fucking answer? It's the worst. The most likely reason this is happening, and especially if people were answering before and now you're noticing you're not getting anybody on the phone, it's because your numbers are probably showing up as spam. But 9 times out of 10, the issue is your number is showing up as spam. And there's a lot of reasons. It's pretty obvious why you don't want to show up as spam. The calls aren't even getting through anymore. They'll go directly to voicemail, or they just don't connect. And you'll think the numbers are bad. The numbers might not be bad. You're probably just showing up as spam. Let's talk about first why numbers show up as spam, why it's such a big issue. If you fix it and you get your numbers to stop showing up as spam, it's going to be a game changer, because you're going to get more people on the phone, more people are going to answer. You have instant credibility compared to another wholesaler calling or somebody else calling where they show up as spam. And we're going to get into it. I'm going to show you how to fix it so you guys can start closing more wholesaling deals today. Your phone numbers might even be showing up as spam, even if it's a brand new number that you have never used before. Sounds crazy, right? So a lot of companies, I think pretty much everybody, all of them, they're all getting them from these big repositories, these companies that have all the phone numbers. And what happens is a lot of other companies, probably not even in our industry, but solar, whatever, people that make a lot of calls, insurance companies, and literally it could even be a spammer or a scammer. They bang out the calls, they make a bunch of calls, they burn the numbers, and then they send them back and they get new numbers. And that's been happening for so long. There's like a 90% chance, or if not more, when you get a new number, even if you haven't used it before, it's already going to show up as spam. And if you have a number, and it could start off clean, it could get dirty real quick and start showing up as spam. So if you're making a lot of calls, if you're using a power dialer, the systems the carriers have are so advanced now, they're able to detect that, and they're going to put you as spam likely. And again, your calls aren't going to connect. People aren't going to answer. The people that do answer, especially older people, they're instantly like, oh, it's a scam. I shouldn't answer it. Or if they do answer, right away their guard's up, and it's that much harder to build rapport and run them through our sales process. And it's just literally the last year or so, it's really cracked down. It's been a problem for a while, but once all the carriers made all the changes, that's when it's gotten even harder. But the good news is, when something's hard and you know the workaround, and you're willing to take those extra steps to fix it, it's going to separate you from all those other people who aren't willing to take those extra steps, aren't willing to learn, or just might not even know. Because I think a lot of people just don't even know about this. Yeah, it could, like, even warm leads like that you paid for that went to your website, if you're calling them and your number's showing up as spam, they're probably not going to answer, and they're probably going to think it seems a little sketchy. Because like I talk about in a lot of the other sales videos that we do for wholesaling, your biggest thing you have to overcome in the beginning, especially if you're cold calling, but it's true for any lead source, is them thinking it's not legit, or you're a robot or a scammer. And if the phone number is showing up and it says scam or spam, they're just not going to trust you. And if they don't trust you, you're never going to close that deal. Doesn't matter. Is your number showing up as spam? So there's a few different ways to check it. One I've used, it's a number verifier. If anybody knows any other ones that are easier or better than ones they like, drop it in the comments. Let me know. I'd love to check it out. This is one of the only ones I found. What they do is they do a reputation checker. And you'll see right here, this is what it looks like. It'll show you how each number appears for each carrier. So another thing most people don't know is your number. You could try to call your phone number, and if you're AT&T, it could say you're good. But if you call a Verizon number, it could still show up as spam. And you wouldn't even know because you checked on your phone and you thought it was good. So each of the carriers have their own thing, their own system, and you got to make sure your number's showing up good on all of them. T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T. I might even be missing one, but look at the picture, you'll see all of them. So you need to make sure it's not being flagged. Now, if you look below, you're going to see there's the FTC one. So if you're flagged for FTC, throw this number away. Don't use it. Get a new one. You're fucked with that number. So just get a new one. So, see, are your numbers showing as spam? Yes. More than likely, I guarantee if you check and you're using multiple numbers and you're making a lot of calls, your number's probably showing up as spam. Even like my personal phone number was showing up as spam because I made business calls from it. First thing you need to do is you need to get all the phone numbers you're using, all the ones that are showing up in spam, and put them in a spreadsheet. Easiest way to do it. And then you need to register these numbers with your business. And it's pretty fucking straightforward. You just got to answer questions, give them your business info, and register them. It usually takes a couple days for those numbers to come back and say they're registered. Usually that should help. Like the first time you register them, be good, but you do want to make sure you're watching these numbers and make sure they don't start showing up as spam down the road. So that's it. It's pretty straightforward, but if you do this, if you implement it, you're going to see a drastic change in how many people are answering and how many wholesale deals you're closing. If you guys have any questions or if I didn't explain this well, let me know in the comments. I'll make sure I get those questions answered for you and make sure you guys know how to do this because it's super important. And yeah, if you haven't joined yet or if you haven't heard, we just launched our school group, our community over on the school platform, and it's free. You can join, and we have my whole course, my wholesaling course for free. It goes over everything A to Z, how to get started, how to start closing deals. You get my scripts, my contracts, literally everything you need. We gave it all away at the event, and we're opening up now for more people. Looking forward to seeing you guys in there, and catch you guys on the next one.